looks like in 8.5 minutes, Toronto will be on the clock at 31. So just kind of wanted to pop in here a little early and give some early thoughts on round one, some of the moves that I really liked. Just early, like, does anybody like the day one, day two now that we're doing it? Does it feel super, capitalist? Like, I don't know. I kind of enjoy like round two being this, you're up till like 12 o'clock at night and just looking at like all these moves and stuff. But I mean, I guess it gives us a little bit of extra content the next day. As always, I tried to put the actual screen on there, but like ESPN has it locked, so I have to use my TV. So it's something to kind of look at or whatever. I'm wondering, like, man, who's going to go first here? It looks like, people think maybe Cal Filipowski goes to Toronto at 31. Johnny Furby's also still on the board. There's a couple of other guys that got pretty good potential, and Bobby Clintman, maybe Jonathan Mogbo. He looks like more like a sleeper type of guy. There's Isaiah Crawford. I really like a Dembona, super high flyer. So somebody's going to get really lucky there. I wonder if there's any smoke with Bronny James. I know that day two is going to be a lot of Bronny talk. Which, if you're a fan of the Lakers or Bron in general, I mean, like you're probably cool with it. But I would say the mass majority of us are already overhearing about him nonstop. I'm ready for that dude to just get on a team so we can just forget about him. He's not ready yet. I hate that he's already dictating so much of his career, which is like he doesn't want to be in the G League at all, and this and that and everything. It's like he needs more work, man. Like he's not big enough to do more than play on the ball. So I don't know, man.
Yes, it's complex. Let's be honest.
What are some of y'all's favorite picks from the first day, man? I really like. I thought there were more fans of Montes Buzelis. It seems as though like a lot of people really aren't very high on that kid. I love him in Chicago and them doing this rebuild. I think the contract negotiation with DeMar DeRozan has kind of stalled, but I didn't really get him coming back there anyways. I feel like. I know that he enjoys Chicago, so maybe he's just thinking from like just late in his career, maybe he just wants to be somewhere that he enjoys. But I also think that he really wants to win a ring. But hell, I don't know, man. Like what? Like maybe he goes to like Orlando or something, and like just gets paid or something. But I don't think that they're really ready, or maybe he goes up to Philly. Now that they're going to strike out on, it looks like OG Anunoby, Paul George. They couldn't get Bridges. Like it's man. I feel bad for the Sixers, man. Like they I feel like at one point had this really close. They had something going on, and then just bit by bit it's falling apart. I don't know what they're gonna do. More Bronny James days, so absolutely insane. I also wanted to apologize to Chip. Yesterday, I said that he was a fan of. I was saying AJ Johnson. It was AJ Mitchell that Chip was a fan of. He does not like AJ Johnson at all. I got them two mixed up. But AJ going to the 20s might be more shocking than Zach Edey at 9, which I've had time to sleep on to try to think of. How I feel about Zach Edey. I'm trying to talk myself into it. That there's some pretty bombastic takes by people over at Yahoo calling it the worst draft in the history of all the NBA, which I think is just so vitriolic. I don't really get it. And then other people trying to say that, well, no center who's in the college landscape is a senior who's been successful, and it's like, yeah, because those guys don't really exist. Like more often than not, those guys kind of come out early. Zach Edey profiles more like Shaq than he does like a Frank Kaminsky or something or whatever. So we just haven't seen a person of his stature in 20 years. Like most of these new guys that are over 7 foot, look like Chet Holmgren. They're 190 pounds. So it's just it's so hard to kind of like understand if he's going to be good or not, just because we haven't seen it work in so long, because it just hasn't been anything that people have really thought had value. So, but if we're talking athletically, after looking at the numbers again, Zach Edey's numbers are just as athletic as Alex Sarr and Clean. So it's like you can't really say that he's slower than them. I think Sarr has the higher vertical, but he's also like 80 pounds less. You know, with Edie being a multi-sport athlete, I think he played baseball originally and hockey also in Canada. So like he loved hockey. He is super physical dude or whatever. Very very competitive. He's only been playing ball for like 6 years or something. So which kind of makes me think of Steven Adams. Also makes me think of Joel Embiid, who both of them kind of came on late. And it's like you know, so his growth rate is different, right? So it's not just based on his age, like a Dalton Knecht, who's been playing since he was like 12 and is now almost 24 years old. Like he's only been playing since he was like 15 or 16, and he's only 22, right? So you know his understanding of the game is also has a chance to like keep growing. So I don't know, man. It's super polarizing. Obviously, I would love for it to work out and everything, and for him to be really good. Yeah, there are definitely people that have talked it up, which is cool. It's talking some of us off the ledge. 'Cause at one point, I mean, like I was vehemently against Edie, but then after having to do a lot more draft work and stuff on him, which I didn't do in the last couple weeks, I didn't think that there was any chance of them taking him. So then, the last, the last 10 hours or so, I've been doing like this really extensive deep dive, looking at all these, like, these people talking about him, all these interviews, all these scouting reports, whatever. He seems to look like a pretty genuine kid, or say kid, like, he's a giant. He seems to have like a really, likable personality. He's got a lot of, of that fire in the belly. He enjoys contact. I imagine him always being like Jonas Valanciunas, where he's like, tossing his arms at people, his shoulders and stuff. And he's like pushing people out the way. I imagine that he's looking forward to that matchup against, Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, and just like tossing those guys around. So like I imagine he's going to get a lot of offensive fouls that he probably didn't get in college. There's a lot of talk about if he's going to be able to keep up. And it's like, well, I mean, Jonas didn't have an issue with it. Adams didn't have an issue with it. And more often than not, like those aren't the guys on the break, anyways. It's usually those guys who are just in the paint. Maybe they're the one that gets the ball and gets the break going, and then it gets into the hands of Jaren or Dez, and then everybody else is like off the races. And also, more often than not, they're going to finish the game with Brandon Clark. So there's going to be this athletic. I imagine just off the top of my head, it would be something like Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, and Ja probably close. And because they're able to do more switches and stuff. There's a lot more there, or maybe like there's something with Vince Williams as well. So I don't know, man. Like we're gonna have to just wait and see how Edie does. I don't know if he's gonna play in the summer league. I know that he is in the Olympics unless he was left off the team, which would be a shocker to me if he was left off. So if he's not training with him, because I think training starts last week of June, early week of July, and then the first summer league for Utah starts like July 3rd or something, or like the 5th, and then the Vegas starts I think on the 15th. So I would love to see that early Portland match with Edie versus Donovan Clingan again, and to see him just bust his ass again, and then have everybody talk like him, just like eat their words and everything. So I don't know, man. Let's see here. Yeah, you brought up. Yeah, so I think her name is like Kristen. It's something with the P. And to me, it's such a weird hill to die on. Like to take such this unabashed, bold take of Edie's the worst draft pick in the history of the NBA. Like it's such an arrogant thing to say, and then all of her factual information was wrong. Like people have been going over everything she was saying about her pick and roll numbers, which she said he was only at like an 8% clip, when in actuality he was at like an 84% clip or something, which put him in the like top 90 finishing percentile. Just I don't know, man. Just craziness.
Studios in New York. Last night we watched 30 players join the NBA family.
Wow, so they're not even back in like Barclays. They're in just like a random room.
The 31st
that's
pick
crazy.
in the 2024
This is awkward.
NBA draft belongs to the Toronto Raptors.
This is weird,
They have 4
man.
minutes to make their selection.
I feel like they rented out a room at like a Hilton, and they're just like, yeah, you guys go over there in their room and just like hang out. Do y'all like the fact that the players that were invited to the green room basically have to come back on the second day. Like that I feel kind of bad for them, because at least in the NFL, half those dudes are already at home, and so they have this support system around them, and everything with their friends and family, But having to be on camera for 3 hours and then come back and be on camera again and just hope to God one of these teams takes you, it's got to be so embarrassing. Just straight stress.
Well, let's try to say this nicely. They need a little more talent. I mean, they're trying to build around.
I'm also gonna keep track here of. Let's see.
He's always trying to work the angles. But what is their
as there's certain updates and stuff with moves and everything, I'll keep this track there so people can kind of what's going on and everything. I mean, the rumors, things should move a little bit faster today. I think it's only it's 4 minutes. It used to be 3 minutes, so it was really quick. 4 minutes, I guess, because it's on TV, so it's gonna be a little bit different. We'll see. I feel like the Raptors should be running to the Hilton here to make this pick. I mean, I feel they need a big. Kyle Filipowski makes sense for them. He's a really safe pick. He can dribble, shoot, pass. He's an okay defender. He's not great. He can shoot a little bit. He's quasi athletic. I think that's a really smart play there. Maybe they go Bobby Clintman, who projects as more as a versatile piece. I'm kind of hoping that Tyler Smith falls to the Grizzlies. I think that would be just one hell of a steal, man. That kid projects as a really on ball scorer, a really almost like a sniper on the wings, and a guy that's 6'9" who can play maybe that 3-4 for you. It can also maybe let you move off of a Santi Aldama or something, but could be very cool.
Scotty Barnes, I like him a lot. RJ Barrett, I liked him in New York, but obviously I'm happy with.
That's fair. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, if they do something like this again, I'm wondering if it'll be in the same place, or maybe they'll just go back to being just a one night. I'm wondering if the numbers are actually good enough here. I wonder if I can.
Is the player that I'm personally shocked is still available.
Let's see here. I wonder if I can make my. There we go. Okay, a little bit bigger there. Get that background out of there.
All-American, one of the best players in the ACC. Kyle Filipowski is going to be a long-time NBA player.
I thought that Jonathan Givony, I thought he got picked up by a team, didn't he, to be a scout?
Kyle Filipowski is going to be an outstanding NBA player.
I don't know. I thought that he kind of followed in John Hollinger's footsteps there as being this initial draft guy, and then he got picked up like Hollinger did with the Grizzlies forever ago. It's also weird. I think I saw Juan Nunez in the room. It's crazy to me that kid's a day. I mean, he's an obvious talent. For folks who don't know, he's a 20-year-old guard from Spain, pure point guard. He's 6'4". He's probably the best passer in this entire draft. I know that people are already talking about him. He's not a natural scorer though. He's okay on defense. He tested poorly athletically, so I think that's something that's kind of going to hurt him. But he is. He's only 20. He just signed, I think, with either Barcelona or with Real Madrid. I don't know the specifics of the contract or how big it is. I know that NBA teams are only allowed to pay, I think it's 60% of a certain amount as a buyout. So I'm assuming if he gets taken, he'll be over for at least 1 year. But he's definitely a guy that people thought he could be this next Rubio in Spain. When he was on that under 18 team, he had a lot of buzz. He just offensively has not kind of popped how people thought, which is kind of what happened with Rubio. He was also that 6'3", 6'4", really good defender. I remember when he was 16 playing against Kobe in the Olympics, people were like, yo, Rubio's going to be killer.
With the 31st pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Jonathan Mobo from the University.
Whoa, Jonathan Mobo, man. My boy Chip has got to be so angry. That he is number 16 on his board, I think, overall. Jonathan Mobo, man. I'm not sure if you don't hear this, but hopefully you can see all this. He played in a small school for the Dons. He just tracks as a player who can guard 1 through 5. he actually played center for the Dons for most of the year, but he's also like this high usage guy. But really crafty at the rim. Awesome intangibles. His reach is really good. Super fun pick. I mean, it fits a lot of what it seems like. Westside Yerchi, the lights there. When he had in Pascal, Ujinobi, Scotty Barnes, like he likes those dudes that are like 6'5" to 6'8", huge arms, and can do like multiple things. So definitely a fun pick. It says center. He won't play center in the league. He's only like 6'6" or so, 6'5".
The West is loaded. It really feels like there are maybe two teams, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz, that don't necessarily immediately fit.
Man, Utah here at 32. Them taking Isaiah Collier, I thought was an awesome steal for them. They definitely need to start moving in that direction. I'm wondering. I mean, I originally had them taking Johnny Furphy at 29 last time. I would be shocked. I think he still fits what they want to do there. He gives them a guy that tracks as a really good shooter and scorer. But he's going to need work. He needs at least like in 2 years before he's able to give them anything real. But he seems like they're their type of player. I'm also wondering if they get off of John Collins. I don't know if people think that Collins maybe just isn't good anymore. I mean, he had that really awesome run in Atlanta. He got paid, and then he got jettisoned to Utah, and he was okay in Utah. I guess maybe he just. It might be like a Zach Randolph thing where he keeps putting up these awesome stats and stuff. He just doesn't. He hasn't found his own maybe.
They got the Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert trades.
They also got to figure out what to do with Laurie here. Really great player as well.
There's a lot of interest in
Probably the best big man in the league. If that's a thing in the NBA. Super good shooter. Really high score potential type of dude. But he's gonna get paid, man. Speaking of getting paid, I think we just saw that Jamal Murray is gonna get like $50 million a year, which is bonkers. Like he's working on like a $208 million contract over 4 years or something.
It could be a historic draft, especially at the top. And so I think a lot of organizations, Brooklyn made a decision. They're going to be at the top of that draft next year.
I'm also I'm kind of interested in Kevin McCullough Jr. If you're wanting a guy that's more experienced, like a dude-all guy from Kansas, his injury kind of scares me a little bit. So I mean, like that's I don't know. I mean, like he is older. I don't think towards ACL. I forget exactly what he got injured with or whatever. But I'm wondering where he goes in this draft because I feel like he should be just like a really solid player. But I wonder if that's like this lingering thing. Maybe.
But now Utah's saying, yeah, we'll listen. But make it so good that we can't say no, and nobody's done that.
And when a player like Markkanen, who wants to be in Utah, loves playing there, he's had the best years of his career under Will Hardy. That means something.
I wonder if Woj or Shane are going to get more tweets in today as we go back and forth with this hyped up Twitter battle.
When you don't have good guard play, that gets in the way of a lot of different things. But Markkanen can ball, and we know that he should want to stay, but you still, you got to improve.
At one point in the season, they're 22 and 20, 24 and 23, and then they went on a 5 and 25.
He's right next to the stage. You can't be a whole lot of room in that room.
Let's see who is being added to the Utah
I wonder if it shows just like hiding over here or something.
2024 NBA draft. The Utah Jazz select Kyle Filipowski
I'm actually
University.
shocked that he didn't go 31, but.
Kyle Filipowski.
Also, what's the point? What's the point of having those dudes in the room if you're not going to show them being drafted and then shaking hands or something? It's so strange to me, man. If you're literally just going to have him walk up to the podium in this weird awkward corner, where he's just put up some graphics, then why even have those guys in the room, man?
Shoot, pass, play multiple positions, whatever the coach needs me to do, I'll do it. Just
I wonder if I feel like Kelly Olynyk might be a good comparison for him. That 6'10" forward, just kind of does everything well. And I feel like Kelly played in Utah for a few years and did pretty well. So he could probably be in that mold, which always has value. I mean, I remember Ryan Anderson forever, who just could only shoot really towards the the end of his career.
Jonathan, tell us a little bit more about his game here.
Malika, every NBA team is looking for a 7-footer who
Man,
can
so
dribble,
it's-
pass, and shoot.
Like, am I wrong in thinking it's strange that they don't just have him go talk to Kyle because he's like a foot away from them?
He has excellent shooting range. He's versatile defensively on the perimeter. Some NBA teams didn't like the fact that his wingspan was shorter than his height. They had question marks about whether he's going to guard power forwards or centers.
I feel like sometimes people get so enamored with what players can't do that they kind of miss out on what they can do, right? Like, it makes you think about when the Grizzlies got Desmond Bain at 30. You know, everybody was like, oh, he's only 6'4" or 6'5" or something, or whatever. You know, he's his arms are too short. You know, he can't do this. You know, it's like you just kind of forget everything else that person does, and that's all guys who slip to that. Like you think about Brandon Clark or Jerome Arthur, Cam Whitmore last year. You know, there's just all these guys that they just were awesome in college, and for some reason they just get dunked on. It just makes absolutely no sense.
Bob, if you are looking to continue to build out this team, obviously Drew Holiday was.
Wonder where the Bucks go here, man. Them taking AJ Johnson was shocking. Now that I realize it was wrong AJ that was talking about, it's just shocking. I didn't see that coming. I'm wondering what they do here because I feel like Kyle Kopowski would have been really good there for them, especially if they're looking to maybe get either trade away Portis or Brook Lopez or something. They're also talking about maybe getting rid of Chris Middleton, so maybe about Clinton in here. Kind of makes sense.
We never saw a consistent time, Malika, where you had Lillard and Giannis functioning for 20, 30 games.
I don't know, man.
It was kind of a little bit of your turn, my turn, and I don't say that I
Does Milwaukee have any chance of actually getting back in the draft? Actually, trying to actually get back into being solid again? I mean, with Giannis being 31, 32, which is crazy. He's already that old. And their whole team is old. They have all these big contracts. I don't know how they get back, man. The Knicks look awesome, and the Celtics look great, and you've got the Pacers coming up, and you've got the Magic are coming up, and just got all these teams, and they just look to be slowly regressing.
Took Andre Jackson from UConn off of, he was kind of the heart and soul of the Danny Hurley's first national championship team. Really terrific ball handler, defender, a guy that they thought eventually today.
I'm kind of shocked they haven't maybe
they are limited with
traded to just get
to do in free agency. So
something more guaranteed.
if you're
It's, I don't know, man. It's strange to me.
Somebody will come in
Because I definitely know
like Bob, who's good
I
at
think in this draft that would solve anything for them.
player for you sooner than later because
Baylor Shireman would have been really, really good for them.
you have to build
Just
your
like
depth out.
a guy who's 6'7", who plays hard, hits threes. I think that would have been really good. I really liked Dylan Jones. I thought he could have been good there. Tyler Smith might make sense here. He is a bigger shooter. You maybe stick him on the wing in that 3-4 type of spot. You have him play off of a Bobby Portis off the bench. That could be kind of cool.
Who can sit up there and fill that role?
I don't see them going after a Bona or anything, or a Kevin McCullough. I don't know.
But who can be that other guy? I don't know. I don't see anybody that Milwaukee has that can do that. That's what you better get.
I also think getting a full year under Doc Rivers is going to be important because they had so much upheaval toward the beginning of the season with Adrian Griffin as a first coach. He was out after a couple of games. Bringing in
Such a
Doc
weird
Rivers,
hire, just in
getting a chance
general.
to sort of implement that system.
I feel like
has to make a difference.
if Monty Williams had been available, that would have been a better hire at the time. He fit their timeline so much better. It made so much sense.
He's got an off season, and that's what they're trying to bank on.
Ladies and gentlemen, they were 30 and 13 when they fired Adrian.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
it wasn't like they didn't
makes
have
no
some success early on. They were 17 games above 500 and was still walking around like a bunch of depressed puppies for crying out loud. What the hell was going on there? And so when I think about Doc Rivers, it's success and
Yeah, so I mean, was there more of an issue you think with with Adrian in terms of how he was just talking to players, and maybe like people just weren't into that, you know, and because they were really good. It was really weird that they got rid of him. So I mean, is Giannis soft? Is he just, you know, he doesn't want to, you know, get yelled at? I guess he's 30 years old. He's like, dude, like, you know, I already won a championship. I'm MVP. Don't stop yelling at me, you know.
With the 33rd pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Tyler Smith from Houston,
That makes
Texas,
sense.
and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
You know, for you know, I mean, like Original was saying, you know, he just tracks as a really good shooter. He's got really quick feet. He can get to his spots really well. He's got this really cool, like, you know, he's got this really quick jab step, like this, like pull-up game. He's an okay shot blocker. It says weak side. He's not a great defender, but he's a pretty good help side block, you know, guy, whatever. But you know, he gets enamored with wanting to shoot though, and so you're really going to have to get a lot more out of him. It's funny that they showed, you know, Keegan Murray. He's a 4 minute Keegan Murray probably. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, I'm just not sure where he's more of this weird tweener spot. So I don't know. But like in this new NBA where everything is positionless, you know, maybe that doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I mean, like he would have been an awesome get for the Grizzlies at 39. I talked about him as a top 20, you know, possible dude. So I was shocked that he kind of fell.
Scoring versatility that made him G League Ignite's most prolific and efficient scorer per minute. Dynamic shot-making prowess, but can score in a variety of ways. Cutter, offensive rebound.
Also wonder how far that like Harrison Ingram falls. He's so small. I think he was what, like 6'5" or something, 6'6".
But at 19 years old,
you know, at UNC, you know, he didn't test well athletically, but he is this beast in the paint, and he gets after it. You know, he punches people in the mouth. So I like that's gonna have value. I'm wondering where he goes, maybe. I don't know. All right. Very true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this has been the story with the Bucks, though, right? Is that they continue to get older, and I feel like Middleton hasn't had a healthy year in what, like, you know, four seasons or so. So that's kind of like, you know, crazy there. Let's go with. All right. This. All right, so we've got no news yet. Portland's we got the Spurs at 35. We got the Pacers, T-Wolves, Knicks are back. Man, Knicks had a lot of picks in this draft. It's crazy. All right.
Hard games deserve a hard living.
All right, man. Yeah. All right, so Portland's pick is in. Also, the Hawks traded, I think, AJ Griffin today, which is kind of weird to me. It's like, I don't think what they're doing. Like he's 20. You know, he tracked to be like maybe like a rotation, you know, type of guy. I don't know. I like it at the pickup for Houston, who continues to do these smart things. That the GM is told it. The last like 3 years now or so, you know, 4 years. He's been putting together really smart, you know, players, you know, guys with talent, like versatile guys, you know, just like all the board. They still need a more natural point guard. It would be kind of crazy if maybe like if they get like Tyler Colbert or something or whatever, which I mean like he would start obviously, but like it'd be kind of crazy for them to add another, you know, soft piece probably. Then picking up Eddie Avdia was great. Donovan Clingan. There's rumors of them maybe trying to trade Jeremy Grant. They have 34 and 40. Lord. I'm sure that they would like to got Tyler Smith there. Let's see. Who's if they want a bigger wing shooter?
It's me, your skin. Some cleanser gets clean, but take my moisture. CeraVe cleansers help you maintain my moisture balance with hyaluronic acid plus 3 essential cyanamides to help restore my natural barrier. So much CeraVe.
I wish that they would go through more than just the top 10 dudes that are, you know, best available. It really annoys me. It'd be cool if it was just like a content tracker or something, like a stream here. Cam Christie, maybe, I guess. Then. I think he kind of tries like his brother did. He's supposed to be like maybe like a elite level shooter. Tyler Kolek, okay.
He led Division I in assists at 7.7 per game.
Did y'all see that weird report saying that Tyler Kolek couldn't read or something or whatever? Like, I saw something that said that he scored like an 8% on the Wonderlic test, which I didn't know that they took those, but and folks are saying that he dropped because he can't read or some nonsense.
He's in the gym every single time I'm in the gym, on the other end getting shots, so he's kind of instilling my love for the game.
Yeah, I also thought Tyler was a little bit taller. For some reason, I thought he was like actually 6'3", but he's just as big as Sears. I'm sorry, not Sears. Sheep.
It sounds like this pick is headed to the Knicks. Absolutely love this guy for
Which
the best passer in college basketball this season.
Jamal Sheep is another big target for like Chip Williams. He's a big fan of his.
From day one, outstanding pick and roll player. Just brings a toughness.
Weird for them to take another guard. I'll be honest with you, like
I'm very surprised that Tyler Kolek is here at this stage of the draft.
I don't know, it's just very strange for them to have
As you mentioned,
Scoot Henderson, Jaden Sharp every time they're taking another guard. It's like
to the New York Knicks, and now the San Antonio Spurs. They are on the clock at number 35. So obviously adding Stephon Castle was a first step in building around Victor Wembanyama.
wow, Spurs made that pick
timeline, Bob.
fast.
If you're sitting there seeing a
Only like a minute off the board there. They're
by having him on.
ready to go.
Well, Malika, I think they knew he was going to be the expectation
Popovich right there.
for Victor Wembanyama, but I think he actually exceeded him. So if I was in San Antonio's front office, by the way, they're a lot smarter than I am, but I would be saying, hey guys, this kid's better than we thought. So should we speed this thing up? And I actually think they are speeding it up now. The problem is the West isn't getting any easier.
No,
But they're forced.
the West is insane. Like it's been brutal for the last 20 years, 22 years or something. I mean, it's crazy to me that the East is consistently terrible with like a handful of really just awesome teams at the top, and then just trash fires below them, and then in the West you've got just like the top 10 teams are all over 40 wins every single year. It makes no sense whatsoever.
You want to get involved in players in their 30s who want 4-year max deals.
And then what happens is every team in the West has to continue to compete with each other, so they just keep siphoning talent from the East to just bring into the West, and so the East just it just stays the same, the West stays the same.
Right.
They're easy trading partners.
They have so many things. They got
What do you think of AJ Mitchell
in
here?
next year's draft, in a monster draft. They may get their co-star next year, not this year.
Well, and we'll see who's joining their roster right now.
I still really like them taking Castle. I don't get them trading out at the 8th pick. That still makes no sense to me. It's weird.
With the 35th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Johnny Furphy from Melbourne, Australia, the NBA Global
I
Academy
know
in
he was an
Australia,
Aussie.
and the University of Kansas.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, it totally makes sense. I was saying that they need shooting. He's 6'7". He's young. He projects as this next level type of a shooter. He needs work. So he should fit in that system. He looks like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. He's got such a baby face. It's crazy. But yeah, no, that pick makes total sense.
Just like a superhero pretty much. I wouldn't say I base my game off being a unique player, but definitely players of that standard being always been watching.
A few things that he did that I liked in college. He moved well after initial plays, and he moved well off the ball. So like for instance, if a person took a shot and missed it, he would do a lot to extend that play life, which I really like. And then he did a great job of always moving to reposition himself, which is a really good trait to have, especially if you're tracking to be this off ball type of scorer. But cool, yeah. I mean that's dope. I mean a lot of people had Johnny Furphy in the top 20, so I'm sure Spurs fans are freaking out that they basically trade off of 8 to get future assets and then still end up with 2 potential lottery talent guys. I mean a lot of us really like him as this project player. So. If he hits for them, I mean that adds a huge functionality for them.
It's a quality pick for the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
Johnny Furphy projected to go 18 17 in our mock
Yeah, like just saying, yeah, he's rated like
to get him
at
here
18.
at 36 is a steal.
Yeah, and when you look at Furphy, Indiana did not have.
So I mean, yeah, that, I mean, like you love to see it if you're a Spurs fan. You hate to see it if you're anybody else in the league because you don't want them to add potential talent with Victor Wembanyama, who's going to be dominating the league for the next how many years. So you just hope that they don't get
Jonathan,
seamless
thank you
fits,
so
I
very
guess.
much. And now the Indiana Pacers, they are on the clock at number 36.
Pacers
right
pick is
now.
already in. That was also super quick. Man, it's crazy that some of these teams have got like 3 and 4 second round picks. It's nuts, man.
What are their plans to continue to build on what we saw in the postseason?
Well, this is a team in Indiana. Remember, too, you didn't see Ben McAdoo.
I'm also wondering if
an outstanding young player.
the Pacers bring back Obi Toppin. He was really good for them. It was really fun to watch him in the playoffs. But they've also got other guys like Jalen Smith, and I wonder if they're gonna prioritize him as well. But I don't know. That's the annoyance, especially with these new apron rules. It's gonna be really hard to pay everybody, which always makes no sense to me. It's like you're penalizing teams that are drafting really well. Like these small market teams, their only chance to fight is to be awesome with the draft, and you're penalizing them. It makes no sense to me.
With the 36th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Indiana Pacers select Juan Nunez.
Wow,
from Madrid,
man,
Spain,
cool.
and Germany's.
Hey, there we go. He's in the closet.
Juan Nunez sharing
Good for him, man.
with his family.
Really dig that pick. I think he'll add a lot of guard play for them eventually when he does come over. He's already found success in Europe.
Putting on the hat.
Very, very cool. Like he was asked if he was gonna keep his name in, and he was like, yeah, of course, because he thought that people already knew a lot about him. There's no point in not doing it. But yeah, he's his highlights are awesome, man. He's such a great passer. Just really smart. His ability to get into paint, pass out of it is really good. It's very creative. He'll be really fun. You probably need to watch more of him. Awesome pass. Probably need to watch more of him. I think he's playing for Spain in the Olympics. At the very least, maybe he's playing off the bench. He's definitely not starting for them because they tend to really like more veteran players. But I would imagine he's playing for them.
Juan, you're part of the Spanish national team. You won multiple gold medals with the FIBA, gold medals with the FIBA team, national team. Can you just explain to me how you feel like you can impact winning at the NBA level?
As you said, I have a lot of experience in Europe. I played against.
He's got some big old eyebrows, man. He's got eyebrows like mine.
I think I can help the team. I think we share the identity of the game. We like to play the same style, so I think I can fit in there.
And you're joining a team fresh off the Eastern Conference Finals. Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, your new team.
Yeah, it's cool, man. That should be like a fun pick.
I think I can.
But yeah, I don't think he comes over in the first year. I think this is more like a stash type of pick.
Make everybody look better.
Congratulations and good luck next season. Lolita?
But yeah, you can tell that he was just really into the idea overall of being there in New York, being drafted. It shows with him actually showing up where Tyler Kolek and Caldwell Posse didn't. Do we have any thoughts on if Bronny will be drafted by anybody except for the Lakers, or if it's going to be only the Lakers? Wait, is Furby going to the Pacers, or is he going to the Spurs? I don't have Twitter up or anything, so I don't really know. The phone or the mic?
I borrowed some adamantine from your closet. I made it something special.
Which thing? phone closer? I'm not sure what that means, bud.
See? Isn't this better than fighting?
You can switch phones, and now the family chat's gone green, and all the photos are blurry.
The kids stopped replying. They barely even visited anymore.
My phone.
Kids! Kids!
Problem reaching your kids?
I can try to move my desk a little closer. Give me a second here.
What does IYKYK mean?
If you know, you know.
You know.
Fabrice. Hi, I use Fabrice Fatify Plug. And I use this. Fabrice has a temperature to control scent release, so it smells first stay fresh for 50 days. 50 days? And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. Fabrice Plug.
Man, all right. So the Spurs traded Furby to Indy. That's crazy. So what are the Spurs doing? Like they're in this rebuild type of mode, and it's like, but they traded away the 8 pick for a future 30-31, and now they're trading with Johnny Furphy, who was everybody thought was like a top 20 talent. So it's weird, man, right? I mean, like, am I crazy in thinking that? So it's what? So or did Indy and the Spurs flip their picks maybe, and so like maybe Juan's going to the Spurs? Also wondering where the Timberwolves go here as well.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen
I
dough
wonder,
with
man.
6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Parents favorites for just $6.99 each.
Keep my phone on Twitter, I guess, here, so I can kind of be up to date a little bit as well.
Welcome back. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock, but this pick is actually headed to Detroit. Let's
All right,
go
here we
back
go.
to Deputy Commissioner Mark Taylor.
With the 37th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Bobby Klintman from Malmö, Sweden.
I was low-key hoping that Bobby would fall for Grizzlies. Looks like he's going to the Pistons.
Bobby Klintman
That coat is huge.
sharing this moment with his family here in the green room. Originally from Sweden.
Yeah, he has
Klintman
a lot of
explains
fans.
how playing
People think
with
that he's going to be like a really good
has
steal.
prepared him
Really
for
awesome
an
project
NBA
player.
career.
Also, I think he's like 6'10".
I'm born in Malmö, Sweden. That's in the south of Sweden.
I wonder if he's.
Fans was just like a whole other experience.
Is he the last dude from Sweden since Noah?
It's very hot, great basketball, pro league. I feel like that NBA translates more to NBA too. I mean, I wanted to take that challenge just to prove.
Also, man,
showcase my skill set.
shout out to the
Very versatile.
league in Australia. I mean, like they've been really turning out players.
Knockout shooters. You gotta keep a hand up at all times. You can move off the ball, so don't lose him. Good playmaker. And just good IQ. Very athletic too.
All right, now that we have Bobby's scouting report on himself, what do you think, Jonathan?
Malika, every NBA team is looking for a 6'10" wing who can space
Yeah.
the floor, who is active, running out in transition, who can finish.
That's why I'm also wondering, like he talks about, people wanting to do bigs at 6'9", 6'10", that they can do like 3D things. I'm wondering why Jalen Bridges is not higher up on boards. Like, he projects the exact same. I mean, he's older. I think he's 22, 23, which is going to hurt him overall. But just based on his measurables and size and what he tracks to be able to do, it's weird that somebody wouldn't take a shot at him at least.
To the NBA, what does that mean to you?
It means everything, just being a role model for the kids out there, putting out for the country, for the city where I'm from. It's big time, That's something I'm.
And like, is this the new style? Just wearing like really big ass coats? Like, I feel like everybody last night, except for like a couple of dudes, were wearing just like oversized coats.
Great cutter, just a good feel for the game. That's what I'll say.
Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Malika?
I will say, I'm glad with him
So very much.
going
Now the
east
New York Knicks, they are
and not
on
west.
the
I don't know if the Timberwolves get any better.
Oklahoma
Them
City
adding
Thunder.
Rob Dillingham really sucks.
Reported today, are you okay?
He's gonna be very good for them. So
I mean, it's good. Listen, they've had a good season. They had a good night in the first round. I get it. I'm gonna let it go right now. But it's nice to see them make a pick. Well, I think Woj.
I also think it's funny that Stephen A. Smith is
my earliest
the like draft analyst guy, and he didn't know who 4 or 5 players were last night in the first round. It's just, I wish that they just brought on people that were actually just crazy draft sickos who just really do it, man. And then just had him as maybe like this like side piece, and not as the main piece.
It seems like they're loading up to keep pace with the Boston Celtics.
Absolutely, especially at that wing position, and that's where you know you have to be able to compete with the Celtics.
Don't think that the like Celtics
with Toronto
are the first team to win back-to-back in like 4 or 5 years, or is the like Knicks maybe going to be like better?
Moving forward, it gives you a chance to compete with that Boston team, and you know they would love to be able to keep Isaiah Hartenstein in free agency this week.
I'm also wondering how much that Isaiah is going to get paid. You know, with Nick Claxton, he's going to get like 25 right now. Is what the proposed contract, which players can't sign until June 30th. Which sucks for the Nets because I think I read that they don't really want to pay him that much, but they're also they can't afford to just lose him for nothing.
With the 38th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select A.J. Mitchell from Liège, Belgium, and the University of California.
And this pick is going to the Thunder.
He's the first player
Another guard. What the hell are they doing in OKC, man? So they just took Nikola Topic, then they took Dylan Jones, who does a lot of what Nikola Topic does, and now they're taking A.J. Mitchell, who does a lot of what both of them do. It's so weird to me. But yeah, no, he's it's fair. Yeah, he's from a smaller school, just really smart, really adept to get in the paint, just like the efficient scorer. He reminds me a little bit of, it's so dumb to say, but like a John Contract, so much better. But like he just kind of tracks as like a bigger guard guy that just does a lot of stuff. Grizzlies finally on the clock here, man. Let's see. I'm wondering who I would want for them to take, man. Like, I know that everybody wants us to take some kind of shooter, but whatever. I love a Dembona. I don't think he fits, but I would love, man. Like I've been a fan of him since like the college year started. Like, a dude who's 6'9", 6'10", who can just jump out the gym, who wants to block everything. Which is awesome. But I wanted Tyler Smith, I wanted Filipowski, I wanted John DeMongo. All those guys are gone. So you're just kind of this. I also wanted Juan Nunez, who's now gone. So it's like, damn, like all the dudes that I thought were like really good are like just fast off the board here. I also wonder if this is going to be maybe a guy that they intend to give them some actual minutes, maybe. Or maybe like another two-way guy, but they already have two-ways in Trey Jemison and Scottie Pippen Jr. I don't think you're allowed to have 3. I think the max is 2.
I knew I wanted to pursue a career in music, and throughout that path,
I wonder.
it allows me to free up money and time to do what I love to do.
Yeah, I mean, I get them wanting, like at least like guard guys, but it's like they weren't really able to do a lot with. I mean, like they did move off Giddey because they really couldn't get a lot of touches. So it's like I'm wondering because they already have Shea and Jalen both like handling a lot of those duties, and they had Giddey. We could assume that Topic is going to be out most of the year, and then Dylan Jones. I don't know, it's weird, man. You're not really sure what you're doing. There's a lot of rumors of them wanting to go get, Hartenstein. I'm not sure. Berenstein. So, I mean, I feel like, adding him, kind of solves some of their issues with needing more size. I don't know, man. Also, I'm very curious what the Grizzlies do here. Yeah, so because adding Edey, theoretically, you know, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, Trey Jemison. I mean, those are 5 guys who could possibly be in your rotation. So I don't see them adding that. Obviously, like putting the big here, and then you go with the wings. You know, with Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart. I don't know if John Conchar, Jake Moravia, Zaire Williams get any actual time here. I don't know if they're bringing back Lamar Stevens. And then guards with, you know, you could throw in, you know, obviously Ja, Derrick Rose, which not going to get a lot of playing time. Probably a guard, I would guess, but.
So take a look just at the last 5 picks, where they were selected, and where they will actually be heading. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies are on the clock at 39, at least right now, but
yeah, it is crazy that like all the players I like from 31 to 39 are gone. I'm like, all right,
you
okay,
have an
cool.
update for us on Bronny James, and we're 56.
Well, I don't get a chance to say anything.
So would you like to say
Stephen A talks a lot. There's other stuff going on.
There's breaks in there. Stop looking.
Yeah, it sounds like
Exactly. Okay, fine. I will say.
15 seconds.
Right
Or
now,
like
calling teams.
Fort Comchick also. He's a kid out of Africa. Very, very raw, but has a lot of really great like, athletic talent.
He's not telling the
Go
Lakers.
back.
I don't know if he's number 1 team.
Mark Tatum.
Such a he's too old.
With the 39th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Jalen Wells from Washington State University.
Okay. I'll be honest, I didn't do a lot of research on Jalen Wells. I'll have to do some after the second round here. Was not on my mind at all.
The Memphis Grizzlies. This is what this is all about. Sharing this with your family, enjoying this sweet moment here.
It's cool that at least he's there in the closet, so you know, go get his hat.
And percentage. Now he's taking his talents to the Memphis Grizzlies and sharing this moment with Mark Tatum. Jonathan, let's learn a little bit more about his game.
Malika, this is one of the best stories in the NBA draft. He started his career at Division II Sonoma State, spent 2 years there, then transferred to Washington State. Was barely playing to start the year, but his size and his shot-making versatility really pushed for increased minutes as the year moved on, and he had a monster showing in the Pac-12, made 42% of his threes. Every NBA team is looking for these big wings who can make shots from all over the floor. This is a very intriguing pick for Memphis. They love these type of wings.
And now
He's got a really funky looking shot, like he. It's almost like a push.
Drafted in the second round. How do you describe your journey to this moment?
Definitely wasn't the most traditional. I just stayed positive, kept my head up, put my head down, kept working.
And you've shown impressive growth. How do you want your game to evolve with the Memphis Grizzlies?
I think I really can just show my versatility. I showed I can really shoot it this year. I feel like I can be a little bit more than that. You know, I can be have a full range of scoring ability.
Well, congratulations again, and go enjoy it with your beautiful family. Malika, back to you.
Cassidy, thank you so very much. So Jalen Wells joins Zach Edey as the picks here.
Gotcha. So
for the
I mean,
Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis is really
theoretically taking Wells now projects these ways. I mean, obviously that means Zaire becomes very expendable. He was already expendable, but very much so.
Listen, that was not an ideal season for the Grizzlies. They want to be contending for championships. They hope they can do that again with John Morant back. But last year, Gigi Jackson from South Carolina was a revelation for them. Second round pick who many had projected to be a lottery pick a year earlier. You saw his growth and development. They tried to pursue Donovan Clingan in the lottery last night, weren't able to get him. They take Zach Edey from Purdue. He's got a chance to move right into that center spot.
They need the size. They definitely need a backup guard. As far as I'm clear, you had John Morant, Marcus Smart there. Obviously, both of them were injured last year. You come back this year with the both of them. You want somebody that can come in the spell for both of them. You also want somebody to be able to shoot the basketball.
That's not what he
They
does.
struggle scoring at times, even when everybody was out there and in the lineup for crying out loud. And half-court sets that I'm talking about specifically. I think those are the kind of things that you're looking for if you're the Memphis Grizzlies.
So how do we view the Memphis Grizzlies right now? Because this is such a unique situation, as you said. John Morant coming back. They were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, and really most of those guys are returning.
Dangerous. I mean, you can't count this team out. They got John Morant, when he's playing, is one of the best players in the NBA. We move on and off guys so fast.
I think that's very fair. It's a very what have you done for me lately type of league where
because the opponents move off of them so fast because they're elevating their level of play. The Western Conference has gotten very, very tough.
Yeah, hey, look.
you know at one point it was nonstop Zion, and then he got hurt, and then Ja was awesome. It was all about Ja, and then immediately it's moved into it was like Anthony Edwards and like LaMelo Ball, and just like it's just whoever is blowing up on social media all of a sudden is this new top dog player, and it's like it's just crazy because like John Morant will come back and have some crazy moments and like remind the league of like how good he is, and all of a sudden he'll be back to being like this like great player, and then it's just nuts to me. There's just too much in the moment thought processes.
Alex Sarr is joining us now. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us. I can't imagine what these last 18 hours have been like for you. Can you just walk us through what your day has been since you found out that you were headed to Washington, Alex?
Yeah, really busy. I have to go through the media. I spent some time with my family.
I feel like has there been any real coverage with
what made you
the top pick? Like I saw somebody say that he's going to be the most forgettable number one pick of all time, which is also very that's very hyperbolic. But I will say that I haven't seen a lot of him doing interviews. I've seen Sarr doing interviews.
Only from this perspective, people were talking about you. They wasn't really interested in working out for Atlanta. What was more attractive about Washington compared to Atlanta? That's number one pick.
For me, I end up wherever I end up. But right now, I'm really happy to be a Wizard, and I think the organization is just great. The vibe around the whole team is just about building and being better than we were last year.
Congratulations, Alex. Happy you ended up where you wanted to end up. As far as what you feel like you bring and what you need to.
I'm wondering at what point everybody kind of moved off of Alex Sarr. For a little bit there, he was. This could be next level dude like Evan Mobley, Jaren Jackson Jr. type, and then all of a sudden he became this guy that he's not going to add a lot of value. So, right? Yeah, very very awesome wings there in Atlanta. Love going out there.
Thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little bit of time with us, and good luck the rest of the way. We will see you at Summer League.
Yeah, I'm also wondering. So with the Olympics. Is Sarr gonna play? Is Reese Shea gonna play like in the Summer League? I mean, all these guys could basically be like overseas.
In the 2024 NBA Draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Osasare Ighodaro from Marquette University.
I know that was another player that folks really liked online.
With his family, two-time All-Big East player. He played.
Also, is it strange that Portland took two centers in this draft when they already had Robert Williams and Ayton both there? It's kind of crazy that they took two more centers there.
Malika Ighodaro is a unique big man, operated as a playmaking hub for Marquette, operating out of short rolls, dribble handoffs, pushing off the defensive glass. One of the best passing big men in this draft. Also has terrific defensive versatility.
I would make him look a little bit like Brandon Clark.
Was a big-time winner for Marquette the past 2 years. Oso Ighodaro looks like he's ready to play right now for the Phoenix Suns, which is where this pick is headed.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
It's the first time that we have seen Marquette have multiple players drafted since 2012, and now Oso is with Cassidy.
Thanks, Malika. So I understand you weren't allowed to play competitive basketball until you were 14. How do you describe your journey to this moment?
Yeah, it was different for sure. My parents pushed me to get my academics down. I'm super grateful for that. And it just makes me a well-rounded person, I think.
And you're joining a young but hungry.
Man, I would love for the Grizzlies to maybe get back in this and get the dude from Serbia, Nikola Desurgic.
Cares about everything that goes into winning.
He just tracks as a really high potential type of guy.
Malika?
Cassidy, thank you so very much. And now that pick is headed, because you said they fly around to the Phoenix Suns, but the Sixers are now on the clock.
And what are the Sixers going to do, man? They've got so much money to play with. I think only, 5 guys on the roster currently right now. And they just basically almost building like a whole new team. Embiid just continues to be injured and beat up, and he's always playing through some kind of knee element or something.
This is a payday bar with tons of peanuts and caramel to get the job done. So you can think of it as a tool to.
I wonder if maybe they go after like a Kyle Kuzma or something.
And demolish your urge for
They had Oubre there last year. I think Kuzma's obviously like a better version of him. I know that Washington wants to move off of him. That could be something. Or maybe Brandon Ingram might make sense for them. I just don't know what they could give the Pelicans. I mean, like they just don't have any assets to really trade for a person like that. And then if you're going to have to pay that dude $45 million a year, and he just scores. So it's like, is that worth it?
I love a good side.
Also crazy that this, it's so weird to me that this became Jimmy Butler's entire personality is coffee after the bubble where he was making his own coffee and stuff in the hotel. To have so many things just about him enjoying coffee is so funny.
Like nearly half of all used cars, this puppy has been in an accident. But Carfax stopped.
If they do another pick at 57, I'm wondering if I don't think he'll probably be around at that point at 57. I'm wondering who it might be, but I think either Michael Wallace or Michael Cole, talked about today that he fully expects them to actually make another pick in this draft and try. So I'm wondering if they're planning on loading up maybe a few other players here and there, and moving them out for another type of trade.
Right now, you can get any size of our new Groovy Fries and Groovy.
It would also be crazy because if the Grizzlies don't make a trade in this draft, Zach Kleiman has made a trade every single draft that he has been the GM here so far.
1978, we were the hottest pleasure palace in Miami. The cocaine board stopped our entrance. Enjoy your stay. Let's play Find the DEA agent. Bart, your brother's the biggest trafficker in lately. We went our separate ways. I need you to reestablish your connection. You have to prove something.
I wish I was more into mock stuff. There's so much content for it. It would just golf on the Scarface Casino, every Scorsese thing, with Narcos. There's so many things, man. It's not my cup of tea.
Back to the 2024 NBA draft presented by State Farm. So a couple of minutes ago, you delivered some pretty big news, and we had to go back. Picks keep flying. Can you again? Bronny James, who is projected as the number 55 pick, what are teams saying? What are you hearing about him? This is Bob breaking news.
Listen, so I think we all can imagine what the goal is for Rich Paul in that situation. But there's a difference between hoping that happens and making sure that happens. And I think what I'm hearing is there's an effort to make sure that happens, meaning whoever's picking between now and a certain number is being told, don't do it. If you're thinking about it, don't do it. And the question is, a lot of people watching might say, well, do whatever you want. You got the pick. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. You don't want to waste the pick one, and you don't want to get in a situation where you have a player that you're drafting not wanting to be there. And so, and this particular agency has a lot of other players. So it all factors into the equation.
That's insane.
No questions. No, kid, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why are we just hearing this? He's been projected to go somewhere around 54, 55.
So for folks who can't hear, I'm not sure if the volume's up loud enough. So basically, Rich Paul is telling teams to not take Bronny James because he's not going to play for you. That it's a waste of your pick, and not only that, but any other client that they have, they will steer them away from going to your team. Just this, almost like this, hostage style negotiation tactic. Because then I heard earlier today, I forget who it was, said that they should just take their son, take Bronny, as a leverage play or something.
NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Adem Bona from Ebonyi, Nigeria, and UCLA.
He's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Just
Adem Bona,
just that super athletic, junkyard dog on defense. He takes every matchup personal. Dude can fly up the court. Man, like him and Tyree Maxey was going to be so cool to watch. Like, that dude's going to dunk on everybody. His offensive game is the issue. He cannot get his own shot. He's very dependent on everybody else. Just average hands. Not a great finisher in the lane unless it's in that like a dunker spot, in that like more or less in that like golden position. But just so much fun. Yeah, huge wingspan. Which really makes up for him only being like 6'9" or so. He just fouled a lot as well, which is like something that he's gonna have to like try to like understand where to pick his spots. That's something that like Jaren Jackson Jr. had to learn. His last 2 years, he's done great at really lowering his foul rates. When he first came in, he said that he just wanted to block everything, which gets these like young guys in like a lot of trouble. Just being so aggressive and not understanding pacing.
Represent two countries. I know back home they're really proud of me. It's everything for me to be standing here right now.
Born in Nigeria, I understand that you modeled your game after Giannis Antetokounmpo growing up. How do you feel his influence will impact what we see out on the court next year?
I think you're probably gonna see a lot of Giannis and me, relentless, do everything for us team to win, hardworking. Being in a position like this just gives me the opportunity to represent myself pretty well.
Congratulations. Back to you, Malika.
Cassidy, thank you. This pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think adding Jeremy Payne and Buna are two usable players. If both end up in Philadelphia, both are smart picks. Those contracts won't be big. They'll be able to now fill out their roster with other cheap contracts, and then probably like one or two big ones.
In a really interesting spot. This is the first draft that we're seeing for Jeff Peterson, their new head coach Charles Lee. What are their plans for this immediate future here?
Well, they've got a great piece last year in Brandon Miller at number 2. This is a player who
Really great. I didn't know if Brandon Miller was going to be good for Charlotte. Jordan has a terrible penchant for understanding talent for as amazing as he was as a basketball player. He's the opposite of that as a GM and an owner. So I assumed that Miller was going to be terrible. But he was great for Charlotte. Super fun. If Ball can ever stay healthy, that would be great. I don't know about the French kid that they took. A lot of people like him, some people don't. Maybe he pans out.
With the 42nd pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select KJ Simpson from the University of Colorado.
KJ Simpson really moving up boards late. Not the biggest guard, but a super productive one out of Colorado. It's really like when Cody Williams got hurt, like him and Tristan Silva really led that team.
All Pac-12 first team
But
selection.
very solid player. They get good
Florida. Jonathan, what impact is he going to have here for Charlotte?
good insurance for when, not if, but when ball goes down.
Just 6'1" in shoes, but an absolute bucket getter. Next pull-up from inside the arc and outside of it. Floaters around the hoop. Can pass off a live dribble.
Yeah, he was really good at the compound games. Really outplayed a lot of people. His hustle was awesome. He just mixed it up. He does a lot of things that a guy of his size has to do, which is a lot of the grunt work. But then he also has to be a really great scorer and a passer. It's such for dudes that are not tall. They have to do so much more.
I just went through so much to get here. And
They just say, man.
Have my parents right here. Everybody back in the hotel room, everybody I supported back home. Nobody expected me to be here, so. Oh man, it just feels good. It feels good, but I know it's not over, and I just can't wait to go and keep proving people wrong. My story's not written. It's all God's plan. I'm just thankful.
I'm seeing your tears.
Man, I was saying last night when Montes Uzelis got drafted, he's crying, whatever. That now that I have a son, everything, dad son related just makes me emotional. It's so stupid.
At Colorado, I showed it, and
you know, the NBA is not going to change. You know, I'm just going to be all
Like I would
over
love
the
for my
field,
son one day, you know, be
go out there and do whatever
like
the teams need me to
somewhat
do.
in college, you know, like playing ball or you know all that stuff, man. I'm so excited, and I hope that he takes that sports journey.
Those moments, Bob, that's really what this is all about. It doesn't matter. I know this looks a little different. The second round's on a different day this year, but that.
Oh yeah, I mean, in my life before my last life, I was an agent, and you got to see an up close and personal look at what a family experiences when their son is drafted and the sacrifices. And nowadays, you know, with AAU and the travel and families moving for their children, and
Yeah,
the work that you put in,
it's almost like, you know, it's such a commitment for the family, not just for the player to be good at basketball, but to have to put your kid in that system of AAU, having to basically give up your entire summer playing at all these camps, doing things, all these 2 days, you know, and everything, and playing like in 5 days. You're putting so much stress and so much money, you know, hiring trainers, hiring, you know, people to, you know, as like your dietitians. Like it's such a journey, you know, for everything. It's such a commitment.
That got emotions like that. You've got to have people that care, that got a passion, not just to play the game, but there's a higher purpose to it all. You want to be great, you want to win, you want to make a difference, you want to have an impact, and it starts with having the right attitude.
Also, man, like I saw some people not really liking the Ware pick, the Heat, man. I was talking with a few people, and it's like, you know, if Ware's biggest thing was his motor, like going to Miami, like we're gonna find out because Miami's gonna put him in that system, and if they can turn him, if anyone's gonna have a chance of turning that guy into a star, it's gonna be Miami. I absolutely love him going there. I think it's great. Pat Riley. Really excited to see who they take here. I always like Miami.
With the 43rd pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Nikola Juricic from Belgrade, Serbia.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you know, he's not going to go 57. He's going to go here. Because Miami knows what they're doing. Damn, that sucks.
On the way to Atlanta, he was born in Belgium. He moved to Serbia when he was young. He represents Serbia on the senior national team.
I think they said he's going to Atlanta.
He says that he loves it.
Is that what it said?
In his spare time, his father played pro soccer. His mother played pro.
Yeah, like, you know, like players like him are what round two are all about, man. Like, you know, these just, you know, you either go safe in round two or you go pure upside swing. And that's what he is. Like, you know, if you just watch this dude's highlights, you're like, how is he not top 10? You know, he's so much. He has so much of those like fun moments of just like, you know, crossing folks up, dunking on people. He can shoot it. There's just a lot of other raw intangibles that he does not have yet. You know, he needs a lot more awareness. He needs to better pace himself, understand schemes. You know, so just a lot of stuff.
So
But
again, Atlanta, Miami, as our Adrian Wojnarowski reported, flipped 43 and 44. So you're saying
okay,
he's
so
going to Atlanta, and he is with our Cassidy Hubbard.
Nicola, you're joining the illustrious list of Nicolas in the NBA.
so weird. All right, so this was Houston's originally, but it was actually Atlanta's pick, and now it's going to Miami. So weird.
Three-letter scorer. I can play defense, you know, I would play offense, not just for myself, for the team. It's also great for them.
Like a punch in the head.
And I would say like an all-around player.
Yeah, you're known as a playmaker with flair. Is that how you got the black eye?
I got hit by an elbow in Sacramento, but
Uh-huh.
that's good.
Showing toughness already.
Looks good, not too bad.
Congratulations. Malika?
Cassidy, thank you so very much, and congratulations, Nicola. Donovan Clingan is going to be joining us after the break, already with his Trailblazers gear on. I love it.
Man, I'm wondering how far the ball sheet falls, man. It's crazy. So far, are we liking the fits? We're liking all the picks. Is anybody mad that certain players didn't fall to him?
What have you done? Don't get mad. I borrowed some adamantium from your closet, and I made us something special. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. See? Isn't this better than fighting? Nope.
Yeah, so he's going to Atlanta. It's weird. So I guess it's what they move off AJ Griffin, and then they go get another player similar in physical stature, but plays a little bit different game. Like, it's so confusing. I also wonder if Atlanta's gonna, you know, actually trade off Trae Young. it was always a weird fit with him and Murray. I just don't know what they're going to do. I just don't know what feasible value that you get for Trae Young, you know, because he's so good that no amount of stuff's ever going to seem like it's enough unless you completely overpay, and then people will, you know, flip on. It's such a fine line in terms of like proper value for him, and then which teams actually need a point guard like that, you know, that have the assets to be able to do that, you know, somebody like. Well, like Houston maybe or something, you know, maybe they, you know, could load up a bunch of stuff for him. I don't know. I know that there's all the rumors about maybe him going to like the Lakers, but I just don't think that they have nearly enough to actually like you know, really get that done.
But summer may be a little different. It always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and dips and taste more summer.
Your Wyndham is waiting. Because after crushing yesterday's meeting, you deserve a little me time. With 24 trusted brands by Wyndham to choose from, your Wyndham is waiting. Get the lowest price at WyndhamHotels.com.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Deep dishes for tour. Tavern style pizza is our thing. You just have to tell America.
Tavern style
Thin crispy crust.
Large Chicago tavern style recipes.
I thought Chicago style was the super deep dish.
Ever since I tried Hidden Valley Ranch, finally found what I've been looking for.
Oh my gosh.
I know. How is this stuff so good? Hidden Valley Ranch.
Be serious about flavor.
Do y'all think that Paul George actually leaves the Clippers next year? I mean, everything that I've read has said that you know, he's very much wanting to stay on the West Coast, which is why I think that he's kind of linked to the Warriors a little bit. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he's got to take a pay cut, right? Because the Clippers basically don't leave him for years at $50 million a year. The Warriors are in second apron hell already, right? I mean, so I don't know, man. Like the amount of moving that people have to do
Donovan Clingan,
to get things done is just crazy.
champion out of UConn, was drafted 7th overall to the Portland Trailblazers, sharing a moment there with his former coach, Dan Hurley, and now he is headed to the Pacific Northwest. But before then, he is joining us here as the second day of the 2024 NBA Draft rolls on. Donovan, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us. I wanted to start here if we could. You had told our Adrian Wojnarowski that you would know in the moment that you were drafted that your mother, who unfortunately is no longer with us, would be proud of you. What did you feel in that moment, knowing that that came to fruition?
You know, I knew she was smiling down on me. I worked very hard for for this moment my whole life. You know, so just to have that moment with my family, I know she's looking down on me. She's happy for me. She's proud of me. You know, she wants me to keep working. She's gonna want me to keep getting better, and that's what I'm gonna go do.
We had a couple of minutes with Alex.
Okay, yeah. So we didn't see the pick. Pelle Larsson went to the Houston Rockets. They were in ad break and they didn't have it on the screen. Pelle Larsson, another white dude that I had talked about yesterday or whatever. You know, going into this draft or whatever. You know, he's kind of like that. You know, forward, type person. You know, he's got a little bit of like versatility to this game. You know, he can do a little bit of things here and there. It looks like Houston's, unless that pick's being traded, it looks like Houston's really trying to just load up on those larger wing types. A lot of what like the Thunder are doing, what the Knicks are doing, what like Orlando is doing, which makes sense, man. I mean, you just get a bunch of dudes that are 6'6" to 6'9" who can just switch everything. Is crazy on defense.
A heavy climb to winning a lot of games and competing at a high level, and someone that just wants to win. I'm really excited to be able to go there and try to have an impact right away. On the defensive end, protecting the rim at a high level on the ball screen game.
So this pick for the Kings is going to the Raptors.
Switch. On offense, just spacing the floor, knocking down the three ball, being able to play make, hit the backdoor cutters, find the everyone cutting.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, like, for a lot of the stuff that Edey does better than Donovan, he's nowhere near the current passer or the projected playmaker. Maybe Edey, where he's not double teamed the entire game, maybe can pass a little bit better out of that, like, that elbow spot or everything. But Donovan has a natural penchant for that, so that's something that is very impressive.
A lot of energy. I'm very outgoing. I want to build a lot of great relationships. I just want to bring a lot of pop into
quick one.
Into the building. I'm just really excited to be able to get there and try to have an impact on winning right away.
Man, I wonder if Donovan is the most potential guy at the center position since Greg Oden. Like, if forever ago, back in like, was it 2008 or something, when it was between Oden and like Kevin Durant, and they took Oden, man, they had like, just these like pictures of the entire fan base outside of the Rose Garden, and just everybody just like cheering, and they had like almost like this like parade style thing for him. Like, people thought he was gonna be like Shaq plus like Olajuwon. I mean, people thought he was gonna be crazy good in every aspect. Like, imagine Victor Wembanyama, except like with like another 30 pounds of weight or something. It just people thought he was gonna be so good, and just so injured, never got healthy, just never was able to actually do anything. I mean, like, Portland in general had so much bad luck. I mean, like with Brandon Roy, who looked awesome, and his knees just wouldn't let him play, and they also had Aldridge, and like they had such a great team in that like 2000s there that just was never able to actually like put it together.
Everything is ready. Well, this 45th pick is also actually on its way to Toronto now as a part of the trade this afternoon between
I'm sure Chip is really upset somewhere. He really loves Jamal Sheed. He's going to Toronto. Okay.
So you can finish your point.
Can I trade Stephen A. like right now?
Walter. Have they made any other picks, or am I crazy there? Let's see here. So they took Longbow, right?
To be depressed and miserable and crying at night because he lost me as a teenager.
Okay.
It would take a lot. Well, like a second round pick.
Gotcha. Okay.
Has been selected.
So what I guess they're
just the last 3 picks
basically taking him
Nikola Jurisic, Pele Larson,
quickly.
and Jamal
That's cool, man.
Picked 45th. Again, this pick is on its way to Toronto.
Really talented.
Jonathan, what can you tell
Good
us
athlete.
about Jamal's game here?
Malika, Jamal Shed is the winningest player in his draft class. Won 120 out of 138 college games. He spearheaded the best defense in college basketball. He's an absolute pest, picking guys up full court and just hounding them the length of the floor. His toughness is off the charts. NBA teams compare him to guys like Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, I was thinking Jose, but he does more than what Jose does.
Role here for the Toronto Raptors. They're gonna love his toughness and feel for the game. I'm a big fan of Jamal Shed.
Toronto had 2 priorities: shooting and point guard depth. They get Jacoby Walter on Wednesday. They get Jamal Shed now. Now the attention turns to trying to lock up Emmanuel Quickly to a long-term contract who is a restricted free agent.
Avi, Jonathan, thank you so very much. And now the Los Angeles Clippers are on the board at number 46. The Clippers are in a really interesting spot right now. There's a decision that needs to be made, Woj, between Paul George and the Los Angeles Clippers. Where does that stand now?
Well, Paul George has until Saturday to make a decision on his $48 million option. He could decline and become a free agent. He can opt into the last year, and he could play for the Clippers. I think that's the least likely scenario. If he opted in, he could do a work with them on a trade. There are plenty of teams in cap space that he could move right.
Man, I remember when he was coming out of college, and I really wanted him to fall. I think the Grizzlies ended up taking Xavier Henry instead or something, but he looked like this awesome forward out of college. He was one of my favorite players when he was playing for the Pacers early on. But when he broke his leg, man, oof.
With the 46th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Cameron Christie from the University of Minnesota.
Is anybody a fan of the Clippers new logo?
Cameron Christie, the
got like
University of
the
Minnesota. This is pretty
yacht in
cool.
the middle
Cam
now and
Christie
everything. It just,
going
yeah,
to the Clippers,
not
where
into
his
it.
brother Max Christie plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. So we're gonna have a little maybe crosstown rivalry.
And I also feel like, you know, for
here in
everybody
Los
talking about
Angeles
when the
as he
the
picks up
Lakers
his
took
cap
Max Christie,
and
like it
has
was
his
oh, like
handshake
this
with
is a
Deputy
steal, this is a
Commissioner
steal.
Mark Tatum.
Like, did he do anything? Like, I feel like, you know, he hasn't really. You know, if you're not able to make a little bit of noise on that Lakers team that's so thin, like, might not have talent.
IQ, super competitive, always looking for a shot, just super aggressive. My brother also plays basketball. His name is Max Christie Jr., and he is currently on the Los Angeles Lakers. I've learned a lot just to stay confident and, stay even keel throughout the whole process. There's a lot of uncertainty that comes with it, but
yeah, like I know that, you know, a lot of folks really like Cam. They think that he, you know, he does a lot of what modern wings do. That they see a lot of, you know, high level potential in him.
Take a look though at Cam Christie, his brother Max Christie.
I just remember Max being at you know, Michigan State, and just not really doing a lot in college in his freshman year, kind of coming out, being like a pure potential pick.
Just because they're brothers, but not necessarily here.
Malika, I think Cam Christie is a better prospect coming out of school than Max Christie was. I had him ranked 14 spots higher on my big board than the Clippers actually took him. He's 6'6". He might be the best pull-up shooter in this draft. He's only 18 years old. He has an outstanding frame. I went to watch him work out here in New York. My eyes popped out at this kid's talent. This could be a big-time steal for Lawrence Fake and the Clippers. It's going to take him a year or two to get his body right and improve on the defensive end. But this guy has incredible upside.
And now Cam is with Cassidy Huffer.
Thanks, Malika. Our Jonathan Gavoni just said that you could be a steal. You have incredible upside. How do you describe your game and what you can bring to the next level?
I'm just going to bring a competitive mentality. Every day I'm going to show up. I know I have a lot of work to do, but I know I have a lot of motivation and good people behind me to kind of propel me to get to that point. So.
And maybe some of that motivation is playing your brother, who is also going to be in LA. But what does it mean to join your brother on the NBA level?
It means a lot. It's super cool to be an NBA brother.
Shout out to that family, having two kids drafted. That's just like you know, you can hang on, you know, the ball, you know, dad and everything, but like, you know, him getting two kids drafted in the NBA is killing.
I love it. I love this.
Such an impressive feat.
Rivalry that we could be seeing in Los Angeles. More for the 2024 NBA draft after this.
I'm checking my board real quick. Yeah.
Unique style, cutting edge innovation, and thoughtful details inspired by you. This is the all-electric RZ. This is Lexus Electrified.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
This is always tough. It's like when you have a team like Orlando that is kind of like Houston a little bit, where seemingly a lot of these really good draft picks are like finally like paying off. It's kind of tricky to like, you know, keep adding to that, because it's like, do you know, keep trying to fill specific roles and spots, or as they're doing, do you just like you trade away like these picks because you're wanting to just, you know, cultivate what you currently have. So it looks like they're trading this for the Pelicans. I did not see Antonio Reeves getting drafted ahead of Justin Edwards, man, or Kevin Coleman, I guess, for that matter. Out of Kansas, that's crazy. Okay.
This hot and delicious KFC, man, it's just $4.99 all day, every day.
Good luck finding a deal this cheap anywhere else.
Whoa, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a really, really, really big deal.
I think it's also crazy that Zach Edey already has national ads. I think only like 2 or 3 Grizzlies have ever had national ads before, so it's funny that he wasn't officially signed, and he already had a deal with like a KFC.
Transform your space with color. Get 30% off paints and stains with sales prices starting at $34.29. Find your new color June 28th through July 8th. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
ESPN Plus. It's the spot for the NCAA, MLB, UFC, 30 for 30s, all your favorite teams on any screen.
So I wonder if the Spurs actually make this pick, or if they're going to trade this one in also.
Miss, you're on fire.
And you don't want to stop, drop, and roll.
Cole Davis.
Kelly Jones.
We need to shoot the back of the moon man.
You mean fake it? Crack it up, because I called it a caption. I'm joking. I work here now.
Who is that?
He's fake me.
60 missions ago.
Yeah, 252 missions.
Actually, 52 missions ago. That.
What?
So that's how they're so productive. They use Fiverr. Look how quickly they find freelancers. So simple.
Yeah, but why are they working in the dark?
Grow your business easily with freelancers.
This Orlando Magic pick, Antonio Reeves, is actually on the way to New Orleans. What is New Orleans getting here, Jonathan?
Malika, they might be getting the best shooter in this draft. He made 45% of his threes this year. He's a first-team.
I love that every time a guy who's a good shooter gets drafted, everybody's like, he might be the best shooter. It's like you have to have some kind of conviction and pick one of these guys as your favorite shooter. You can't just say everybody might be the best shooter. That's all I've heard. Is every time that, like, if it's Dalton Knecht or if it's like, Reed Shepard or Jeremy Kane, it's just always Baylor Shireman, like, oh, he might be the best shooter in the draft.
His brother, of course, Max Christie, plays for the Los Angeles
Ridiculous.
Clippers. And Stephen A., I know when the Clippers were on the clock, you had some points you did not get to.
Well, listen, bottom line is I want Paul George to run out. I mean, the fact of the matter is Kawhi Leonard is never healthy. And you can't really depend on his health. He misses 60% of the playoff games since he's been a Clipper, 46% of the regular season games. I don't trust him to be healthy enough. If you're Paul George, where are you going to go? You got bounced.
Yeah, it's crazy. With Leonard, they continue to low manage him, and it just doesn't matter. He just always gets hurt, which sucks. He was such the pinnacle of the like 3D perfect stereotype of that like 6'7", 6'8", driving with his hands. He could play the 2, the 3, the 4. Just this no nonsense, made in the lab, 2K style guy, and won that ring, and that's been it, man.
Unrestricted free agency always scares me more than anything because when you have a player like this, you can't control it. The team doesn't. By the way, that's okay. Most of the time, the team is in control. Most of the time, you do control your roster. But players of this magnitude, whether it's Paul George or any player, they hit unrestricted free agency. Oftentimes, they can dictate terms. Okay.
Also, at what point in that player's career should they have more self-awareness? Like, for instance, when guys like Allen Iverson, who were, kind of
teams in those markets, they bank on their ability to be able to go out and get another star player if they have cap space. And I think you're seeing the Clippers try to hold the line and not ultimately pay a player who would be 37 years old, have to pay him in the mid-50s.
And anyway, the Clippers are not villains here. They've got the NBA's oldest squad, averaging 30.4 years of age, okay? You need a youth movement. I like their pick. You got to get some young dudes up in there, no doubt about it. But the other side to it is the two cornerstones of your franchise. One of them is perpetually injured, and the other that's contemplating free agency. He's been injured enough in his own career. You do need to start moving in a different direction as an organization, and if you're the player, you should be thinking about it too.
Okay, so the Clippers did make that pick at 46, and then the 47th pick on its way to New Orleans from Orlando, Antonio Reeves, and now the San Antonio Spurs. They are on the clock. We've talked a little bit about the Spurs. They've had a couple of picks throughout this draft.